Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a game that I actually don't think I recall ever seeing, which is a Star Trek game. Alright, the Enterprise is caught in a dimensional gate and to break free. Uncharted reaches a space, now we need to find our way home. Alright, we get to go do like one of the basic things of Star Trek is go get the crystals, right? Alright, so what kind of game do you think this is going to be? It's going to be like a side-scroller? It's going to be a point and click? What do we think? Generating a lot of energy. Well, it did pretty decent as far as doing all the animation and everything for it. You know, for 8-bit, like it's surprisingly not awful. Alright, so it's a top-down kind of adventure game. Reminds me a bit of Secret of Evermore. Alright, so that's our... Our controls are a little slow and wonky. Interesting plan, Jim. Shall I take a sample of it? Alright. Like, it's a little... Everything's a little kind of slow. Jesus. These plants, man, they're just really annoying. I mean, even our phasers are... I believe it's phasers, right? I never really got into Star Trek. We'll take another sample of it. But anyways, a lot of this kind of does feel like kind of Secret of Evermore, a little bit. Bloodworms in the dark forest, huh? Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised it is not nearly as bad as it could have been. Like, this does not really seem as cash grabby as a lot of TV and movie tie-ins. I like how they're just cats running around. Deadly spirits guard the temple. It is kind of funny that they speak English and that we can understand them. Maybe we have a babblefish. And God disappeared in a puff of logic. The village is the cat people. Wasn't like part of Star Trek where they weren't allowed to engage and like do anything on the planets really? Well, not supposed to. The whole like leave them to their own devices kind of thing. Again, was never a fan of Star Trek or Star Wars for that matter. So, I mean, I could be mistaken on some of this stuff. Place it in the fire. Alright, so how do we place said thing in fire? Alright, use item. Plant. There we go. Take the jar of repellent below the fire pit. As long as you keep it, no bloodworm will harm you. Yes. Alright. So that's what we got here. We've got... So we can do kind of a generic talk to our guys. What else do we got? This must be teleport. So we have stun and full. Saves phasers to full effect. Yeah, screw stunning, man. Let's just end stuff. I'm not gonna lie, even though I know that my guy's in yellow, like a lot of times they all kind of move around and I just wind up thinking that it's one of the other guys. It is funny how they just kind of start wandering around. Alright, so how do we get to said swamp beast? Why does it keep just saying that? Alright. There's no way there. There's no way there. Do we have to go back up? I guess we go up and then keep going up to go north. Why are we... Okay, see, that's an issue. That's like really annoying. We're just wandering and it's bringing the messages back that we've already seen. For no reason. I haven't pushed a single button other than the directional pad. So there's no reason to keep having it regurgitate the same things over and over again. Alright, so let's just avoid the stupid shooting plants. Ah. They are annoying, aren't they? I guess they have a certain range because that one didn't seem to attack. We're just going to end some of this fauna here. Ah. I don't see like a health bar or anything of that kind of nature. Even here, I don't see any kind of stats. Okay, so there's the bloodworms. So I guess we're getting closer. Like, I thought the music, but this kind of this music is getting a little monotonous, to say the least, honestly. Like, 3 notes over and over again is a little kind of disappointing. And there's really not a lot going on. Like, I mean, for a realism standpoint, there's really nothing wrong with it, but for a game standpoint, like, there should be more going on than seeing an occasional worm while we're wandering non-stop for a while. Alright, so here's the temple where we need the eye. So now we gotta find this beast that has the eye. Yeah, like, yeah, at first glances, it does look like it's a decent enough little game, but the more you play it, the more you find it very, very lacking. Like, it really is kind of disappointing in a lot of aspects. I mean, the music is absolutely annoying. For all the stuff that they could have done, for the 3 notes to just be constant is... feels like one of those worm things that they put in their ear in one of the movies. Wrath of Khan or whatever. Feels like that's what they're doing to our ears right now. So we'll go wander this way and see... Are they going to make it back to us? Or are they just going to magically appear on our side here, or what's going to happen here? Yep, there they are. They found their way through. Okay, at least that's better. Okay, so we cannot go into the water. See, that's a little, at least more kind of musically inclined here. Instead of the 3 notes. Alright, let's set to stun. Is he down? Bring me to remember back to ship. Well, in a couple hours, something could come along and kill it. We stunned it in the water. It's going to drown. There's a lot of those little mangy mothers around here, isn't there? Yeah, unfortunately, they kind of, maybe they put all their work into the licensing and a couple of the other things and then had to skimp on everything else because there's not a whole lot actually going on in the game. Like, everything's sparse. Like, everything's so kind of monotoned where, yeah, I get we're in a swamp, but does everything have to be, like, slightly off shades of green? Like they couldn't do any other colors? And isn't there anything else in this swamp other than the same, like, two cats running around getting stunned constantly? Yeah, I don't, like, it is better than pretty much most 99% of all the other tie-ins that we've done, but that doesn't necessarily make it great. Alright, can we go back? Like, I wish you could. Okay, we can skip. Alright, good. So we spawn in the exact same spot. Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's try to take less damage this time around. We'll try a little bit more. I want to kind of see if we can find the boss thing that we were looking for. Ah! Like, I'm very annoyed by you can't firing diagonally. Not that it matters that much, but it definitely does come in handy. Okay, so I see where we need to go, but we gotta figure out how to get over there. We can't get in the water. I found the eye, Captain. Alright, let's just go. Let's get into the temple and see what happens, shall we? If we can make it there. I guess we're not fighting the creature. Well, I guess it's kind of interesting that they kind of do a straightforward path towards you as well. They don't do any diagonal. Can we outrun? And let's just stun him and call it a day, right? Sounds about good. Alright. Can we stun and bring take one of the worms? Trying to hit them with the way the gun is and everything is going to be tricky to say the least. So it is extremely linear. I mean, we can see that. Wow, thank you, Mr. Obvious. I'm glad he's there in our party, because I would never have known that the door opened. Very particular, Captain. These symbols seem to be some kind of code. Okay, so it's going to be the same. So we've got, looks like, alright, let's see what else we got. Didn't know we'd have these dogs again in this. I was going to say we're going to keep going before we go into a door, but apparently not. Yeah, this game is... Only one person may pass these doors at a time. Okay, I didn't... Alright, I guess we're going to have to definitely figure out some kind of puzzle on this one. Alright, we'll try this one more time. We'll try to see if we can figure out what the extent of these symbols are then. They do have a set range, so if we just bypass them a little far, they don't attack. We're good on that. At least it's pretty quick and easy to get to where we're going. I mean, seems like on this game it's pretty easy to get to everywhere you're going. Again, all in all, not the worst game we played by any means. One of the better tie-ins that we played. I mean, it has a lot to be desired. There's a lot missing in this game. It's extremely linear, like way beyond any. Yeah, thanks, genius. Alright, so we got those three symbols. And then we've got that. So does that mean that's a bad one? And those... I mean, yeah, but there's nothing that's dictating, like, any distinction between these, is there? Yeah, everything, the game is very slow. Like, everything is just... Just, like, you go to turn around and, like, trying to fire, it takes forever. There's no split reactions on this. It's like, if you don't do everything ahead of time and, like, in a good, clean manner, you're not going to get it off in time. Like an actual fast-paced boss would be a nightmare in this game. I don't really... I mean, it's just... Is there really a pattern? Because last time when we stepped on those... How does he fall down? Like, the dog attacked one guy up there and then they both fell. That doesn't make any damn sense. Am I missing? Because neither one of those two at the bottom are what was in the first ones. It's like I don't want to keep playing it, to be honest, because it's just so basic and simple that it loses a lot of luster right after you get off the initial, like, oh wow, I'm impressed that, you know, it is what it is, and then you start playing it, and it just becomes absolutely just really basic and boring. Can we switch him out to... Alright, whatever. I want to try one more time. I gotta see what I can... Because nothing is like in a weird spot where, you know, that it would dictate that it is something particular or a certain order to it. It's just all the symbols are on the wall. Now we're getting... I thought we had the... Whatever. Like, I care, but I really don't care. Like, I've really lost all kind of motivation and heart for the game after, like, the swamp and everything, where there's, like, nothing going on. Everything's monotone. Everything's just boring. Everything is extremely linear. There's not even, like, a wrong turn you can go on. It's just, oh, that's it. You go that way, you go that way, you go that way. And in between, there is the same one dog that runs out, and this and that. And yeah, we had the repellent, and for whatever reason, yeah, see, we got like light switch, arrow, missile, or bomb, whatever. And then we have... Yeah, see, the spacing is the same, the colors are the same. Then you got these three. Hazardous, whatever, and that. And then we got another light switch. Come on! Jesus, so fucking, like, yeah, really annoying. And then there's light switch, bomb, arrow. Like, I don't see what... Yeah, see, none of these are in those orders. We already know that those all kill us. You know, minus... it just keeps going off. Minus spending time trying to figure out... It had a good start, but it petered out extremely quickly with how they went and did the game itself. Like I said, the sparsity of everything, it's... Each, like, area has its one enemy that... Or if you can call it enemy, it's one, you know, unique thing that is a hazard. Let's go with hazard. You got the spitting plants, then the bloodworms, and then the cats. And that's kind of it. And you get one, like, everything is so slow. You move very slowly. Like, you can't, like, instantaneously, like, turn around and fire. You have to turn and then shoot. And then your lasers are slow. Like, every single thing about the game is slow. Including gameplay. Like, every single thing is just, like... You know, if we were going to categorize some of these games as candies, this would be like one of the hard candy butterscotches. Where... It's just that slow where, you know, you just sit there and just kind of, you know, suck on the thing and do nothing. And it had potential, and maybe later on, although granted, from what I've seen, I don't think it really improves itself later on. It's just, everything is so extremely linear, extremely boring with very little going on. They didn't seem to put any effort other than the main characters into anything else in the game. It doesn't feel like everything else seems like so just kind of almost not really an afterthought, but kind of an afterthought, or just like a lazy, oh, we're just gonna put this in. whatever the case may be. And it just was disappointing because at first glance, and as you start kind of doing it a little bit at first, you're like, oh, hey, this is not bad. This is somewhat impressive. Then you start playing it, and then that goes from really impressive, and then just as you play, it just slowly comes down with your demeanor and attitude and just feelings towards the game. Everything just continually slowly drops to where you're just like mindlessly like, okay, we'll just go do da. And like it just doesn't really work. It has potential. It is playable, but I really feel you're going to lose a lot of interest and a lot of joy really quick in the game. And just everything about it, like just the boringness of everything is just going to suck all the fun out. And it's just going to be a, where you're going to do it just to do it kind of thing without really having the fun and anticipation of when you're actually gaming, where you're like, ooh, I want to do this and got to get there. And like, there is no, ooh, the next part, I want to get there and I can't wait. We're going to try to figure this out. At some point, you're just like, whatever. We don't care kind of thing. And that's about where the game gets you. Like, they did decent enough with, this part of the map, or not this part of the game. And, like, all the guys look decent. Everything's drawn well enough. But then a lot of the music leaves a lot to be desired. The level design leaves extremely a lot to be desired. Gameplay leaves a lot to be desired. Like, you're just not getting what you would expect after a little bit. And it's just disappointing because it did seem like it was going to be a pretty damn good game. And then it turned out to be kind of... I mean, I still think it's better than a cash grab. It really is. Like, it feels kind of cash grabby with the fact that, yeah, you got the Star Trek guys, but then the rest of the levels and the rest of the gameplay is meh, and you don't really care about it, which feels cash grabby, but it's still there, and it still seems to be a competent, playable game, albeit not overly fun, at least not after the first 5 minutes, at least not this early on. Maybe, again, if you can meander through, if you can push and force yourself to keep going, maybe it improves a little bit. But honestly, I don't have high hopes for it. And with that being said, guys, thanks for joining me. Until next time, you guys have a great day.